Democrats just announced sick new way they plan to dominate GOP in midterms to regain control. Yet another perfect example if the tyrannical nature of the Democrats. They can't win by the rules, so they change the rules. Dishonest, lying, cheating, thieves. All that party is. We must vote in November. Stop the Democrats. From the Daily Wire. When all else fails, change the system. Leftist luminaries, who weren't able to stop the confirmation of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, suggested in the aftermath that Americans should consider reforming the Senate. Reminded that expanding the Senate would require a constitutional amendment, they've now, apparently, resorted to reforming the other half of the bicameral legislature, the House of Representatives. NBC News reports that some Democratic activists are suggesting that to even out the balance of power, the size of the House should grow as much as double its current size. Expanding the House of Representatives would be a vast improvement over the status quo with the potential to impact all branches of government, activist Steve Vladeck opines for NBC's Think platform. Changing the size of the House of Representatives from its current total of 435 seats to 650 seats, or one for every 500,000 constituents, would make that body far more reflective of the country at large, would dramatically affect presidential elections, and, perhaps alone among all of these proposed reforms, would most be in keeping with the wishes of the Constitution's drafters, he continues. Vladeck argues that changing the size of the House of Representatives would make that body far more reflective of the country at large by narrowing the size of congressional districts and limiting district size based on population. In most cases, that would involve halving districts. But it's not clear how having more districts with fewer people makes the House more representative, since House members are duly elected and, in most cases, making the districts smaller wouldn't improve a member's ability to lunch with every last one of his or her constituents. What it does do, however, is help the Democrats remain in control of one house of Congress at all times by giving larger cities and their immediate metropolitan areas where there are bigger populations in smaller areas more seats. Unless large cities with high populations switch to the GOP in the near future, Democrats would hold the clear majority in the House ad infinitum. So really, the House would become more reflective of Democratic strongholds. Tricky. Unfortunately for Democrats, none of these proposals expanding the Senate, packing the Supreme Court, or doubling the size of the House are likely headed for approval.